Hello student, today I'll be explaining key management and in that we'll see how digital certificates are used for key management. Key management is related to the generation, storage, distribution and backup of keys. As we saw in asymmetric crypto system, we have a public key and private key pairs. A will be having its own public key private key pair and even B will be having its own public key and private key pairs. And this can be used for encryption decryption purpose or can be used for signature generation or verification purpose and can be used for authentication purpose also. Now suppose A wants to communicate with B with the session key or you can say a secret key. So A has to send a session key to B. Now how A will send a session key to B? A will encrypt the session key with the B's public key so that only B can decrypt it. So before that A should know B's public key. So there are three possibilities so that A will come to know B's public key. The first possibility is in the past B must have securely communicated his public key to A at some point. But there is a drawback in this possibility. Suppose at any time B's private key is been compromised. In the sense, if suppose B's private key is been hacked, that time the confidentiality of the message from A to B using the corresponding public key can no longer be guaranteed because B's private key is been hacked. So at that time an individual or you can say an attacker with the compromised private key can decrypt the messages encrypted with the old private key because A will not be knowing that B's private key is been compromised. So A must have sent the session key using B's old public key, but it is been received by an attacker. Now the second possibility is that every entity's public key will be maintained in one centralized directory. Suppose A wishes to securely communicate with one e-commerce website. So A will obtain B-commerce public key by querying the directory. Now the problem here is whose responsibility to maintain this directory, and there is also a problem of scalability with the directory, and there may be an attack possible with this. The attacks can be spoofing, denial of service attack, and maintaining the non-uniqueness of the names also is a problem with the centralized directory maintaining all the public keys. So another possibility is, the third possibility is A receives document signed by a trusted source C containing B's public key. Here the trusted source C is nothing but certificate authority, which will give a digital certificates to B which contains the public key information. Now A can receive the document signed by a trusted source C containing B's public key. So in detail we will discuss what is meant by digital certificate. Digital certificate is nothing but it is a signed document used to bind a public key to the identity of a person. Now remember here, identity of a person can be his name or identification number, national identification number, or his email address, or some combination of this. So here what we'll be doing, we'll be binding the public key and the identity of a person. After binding, it will be signed by some authority. Okay, now this authority is nothing but a CA, certification authority. It is one of the trusted entity. That signed document is called as digital certificate. Now this CA can issue the certificates to the individuals also, or can issue it to the organization also, or it can be issued to server also. Now if you want a certificate, how you can apply? You can apply through your regular email by stating your public key information, name, email address, etc. Okay, now how the certificate authority will verify that you are a genuine person who is applying for a digital certificate. So this one will be taken care by the registration authority. Now we'll discuss X.509 digital certificate format. The first field here is version. So there are three versions, version 1, 2 and 3. The second field is certificate serial number. It will be unique number which will be issued by the certificate authority. And the next field is issuer's signatures. The one who is issuing this certificate, their signature will be there. And to put this signature, which algorithm they have used, which one, SHA 1, 2, which algorithms, hash algorithms are being used. So that algorithm information also will be there along with the certificate's issuer signature will be there. Then issuer name will be there, next field. Next, the validity of the certificate, that is the start and the end period of that certificate, to what period this certificate will be valid. Then the next is subject in the sense, if I want a certificate, my name will be there. Then, and it will be you can say it will be a unique. Then next is, will be having subject public key information, in the sense the public key which I want to share it with the other person, that public key information also will be there. And which algorithm is being used to generate this public key, either RSA or DSA, and which parameters are being used to generate this public key information, that also will be there in the field. Next, in the extended version, we have a unique issuer's identifier and unique identifier for the subject also, and some extended fields that are kept optional. Then the last field is common to version 1, 2 and 3, that is certificate authority's digital signature. Now if you want to see practically, open some web page. So at the web page you can see lock. Click on the lock button. There you will see more information. Click on the more information. After clicking it, you will get a page where it will contain digital certificate information. So click on that digital certificate and you will get in detail the digital certificate, issuer information, subject name, and which algorithms they have used to generate the public key, and which algorithms are being used to sign the digital certificate. So practically just see this. You will get an idea how it looks, digital certificate. Next we'll see how digital certificates been used. Suppose A wants to send a session key to B. A will use B's public key to encrypt this session key, so that only B will decrypt it using its private key. Now suppose A has B's certificate and it wants to use B's public key. So but before using, A has to verify that it is a genuine certificate or no. So there are number of checks have to be done. First, A will check B's name, but there is a problem in that. It can be a common name field. Many person will be having the same name. So the next check can be done on the subject web page URL or the email address. And the next check can be for the validity of the certificate. And the final check can be whether the certificate is been signed by the certificate authority genuinely or not, that you need to check it. Then only the A can use this certificate to get the B's public key. Thank you.